for me, it's re-examining where I'm at and re-examining where I want to go to. So it's allowed me to re-examine and reimagine what I'm trying to do for the next part of my life.
So when you say reimagine or re-examine what you're doing currently, what are you doing and what are you trying to change about that?
Well, about 2 years ago, I made a bit of a change. I had been in a business, sold my business, and then worked for the company that bought my business. Did that for about 4 years and then realized that wasn't for me, and I've started again with a new business. I'm in the wealth management and the investment management industry. So I'm looking at that industry. It's something I've been in for 30 years, but things keep changing, keep evolving. But more importantly, the role that I want to play in that from a business point of view, and then also from a family point of view. There have been a number of changes as my children are getting older, moving out of home. My wife and I have to reimagine where that life is and how we deal with that. So they're fantastic perspectives here, and it's always very, very encouraging to engage with experts on the one hand, but more importantly, engage with YPO peers from around the world, many of who have gone through similar experiences. So that intimate sharing is very powerful for me.
Now, tell us about your wealth management business. Where are you advising that your clients find value?
Well, I think the most important thing when one is investing is to understand, again, who you are, where you are, and what you're trying to achieve. And if you need very, very high risks or very high returns, then your risks will need to be a lot higher. So, the best way to get that over the long term is in equities, investing in businesses. But having said that, over the last year, not just here in South Africa, but globally, equities were a fairly painful place to be. And even over the last 5 years, things haven't been spectacular from a return point of view. But one's got to look slightly longer, and I'm not just being expedient in saying that. If you're going to invest in equities, you need to have at least a 10-year horizon. You can possibly get away with a 7-year horizon, but you've got to look long-term. And over the long term, there is no other better asset class. There is no other better asset class. So, you've got to understand that you need to be patient. And so when things are bad, like they have been over the last couple of years, is understanding why they've been bad and not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. So, certainly saying equity is a good place, and yes, they've come off a lot. So there is some exceptional value in equities right now.
Property in Botswana doesn't look like it had a very good run last year either.
One of the key issues with RDC and why I was asked to join that board was to provide a slightly more broader perspective and a strategic perspective, because that company was focused almost exclusively on Botswana, and there's a strategy now to regionalize that. So, there's been significant now exposure into South Africa, into Mozambique, and Zambia, and Namibia. So I think it's a fantastic story from a regional development point of view of a business coming out of Botswana.
And they're mixed properties, right? You have industrials in the portfolio, you have retail spaces, you have residential spaces as well.
And commercial spaces, so a full spectrum right across the board. Yeah, so very well diversified portfolio of properties across the Southern African region.
But how have they performed?
They've done exceptionally well. So, if you look at the yield that they're providing investors, it's been excellent and superb. And it's very much a growing portfolio that's evolving. So again, I think an excellent investment opportunity for people who are looking for a regional property exposure in Southern Africa.